Welcome to the tutorial for our holiday truck project. This is an example of one of the trucks before glaze, and here it is after glaze. I also have one with a tree, which is what I'll be making today. So you folks will be using these templates. As you can see, one's a tree, one's a pumpkin, and then this is the front side of the truck. The truck has two levels, and so you will need about a 6-pound slab of clay that's been prepared and let to dry to about leather hard. You can see that it's got a front level and a back level, and we'll just be slipping and scoring one onto the other, making sure that we have some texture on the front part of the truck. You'll need, like I said, enough clay to prep and cut two parts for this truck. So I think I'm going to do the tree today. I'm going to put this way over on the side of the slab so that I don't waste any clay. And I do have enough room for both. The front of this truck will need some texture. So I'm going to take my rubber tip tool and I'm going to draw a line right here. And this will inform the side of the slab that has the texture on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and trace with, I think I'm going to use a pencil actually. You could do it with the rubber tip tool. You could do it with a ballpoint pen. You could do it with a pencil. Just try not to cut through the paper. I think I'm going to go ballpoint pen this time around. And I'm just going to trace this back side of the truck. When I get to these straight lines, I really want to use a ruler to make sure that my lines are really nice and straight. I mean, if you have a super steady hand, I suppose you could do it without a ruler, but for me, I feel more comfortable using a ruler and making sure that I get a nice line. So I've got the wheels. You can kind of feel around too in case you get lost as to where you're at. I'm going to break out this ruler and get my lines in here. There we go. These little short lines I think I can do without. Okay. So I always pick the piece of paper up slowly just in case I've missed a line, and I can see that I have. So I will put this ruler back on here and trace my last line. You can also kind of feel around for it as well. Alright, so that should be good. I just want to make sure I can see it. That's great. And then my next one is going to have some wood texture in it, so I'm going to run over to my texture mats. Alright, sorry about that. This next section is going to get some wood grain texture. So I'm basically going to try and line up this texture here and roll that wooden grain in. That's going to make up the front part of the car, of the truck. Pick it up slightly, make sure that you like it. And I'm going to do a couple more areas just for my wheel wells. And maybe even, let's see, I want to make sure that texture's in there really nicely. And then maybe even lay some more down over here. Try and not get my seam in there. Great, that works good. Okay, great. So now this, don't forget to lift your slab after you put texture in it. And now this piece of paper is going to go in here, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go ahead and trace it using my ruler for my straight lines. couple of wheel wells. You just have to keep track of what's the top and what's the back. There we go. Alright, so we're almost there. There's the wheel. I think these lines, I'm missing these long lines that I wanted to use a ruler on. There we go. This one down here. And again, you can use a pencil to do the tracing as long as it's not too sharp. You can use a ballpoint pen. Or you can use a rubber tip tool, although I find that you kind of have to press pretty hard with a rubber tip tool if you want to trace or transfer the image. This one also works really well. You can use this tool right here, which is a plastic pencil. That works great. So if you don't have a ballpoint pen on you, you can use that tool. All right. And I am ready cutting, I believe. There we go. Lift it up, make sure that you can see it. This line's kind of hard to see, so I'm going to trace over it a little bit more. You really need to wait until your clay is leather hard to do this, folks. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult. Okay, I can see it. It's a little hard to see for you guys because you're up close. Let me see if I can bring you down a little bit, but you can hopefully see it enough to trace it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and then we'll begin our assembly.